What's up, Brian?
I'm sad.
Oh shit! I forgot my headphones. I'll
Can
be
you not hear?
talking to people. We're recording.
Well, hi guys. I'll wait to tell my story when JR gets back. Hope everybody's doing okay. Blah blah blah. Is he gonna delete this? Hopefully. I'm gonna clean off my desk while he's getting his headset. I thought I was ill prepared, but man almighty, this kid.
You complaining about me?
No, of course not.
I think so.
Thought I was ill prepared. Okay, I'm so sad, but yet I'm so excited.
That you have a lag?
You need me to elaborate on that?
A little bit, because you went
Oh,
in the middle of that
Is it?
statement.
Oh yeah, I just said my connection's unstable. Great.
Great. We're gonna have an unstable connection from Brian today.
Well, yeah, I guess it wouldn't be the first time. But no, I'm happy.
You're kind of all unstable. Why are you happy and sad?
And well, with the Christmas summit, I found out there's guys in Montana that do Xlights shows.
Oh,
Super excited about that. After a little research and talking to one that's the closest to me, an hour and a half down the road, he has been doing an Xlights show a year longer than I have.
Uh-oh.
So I am not the first one in Montana to have a Xlights type show.
Darn.
It's cool. It's all right.
It's okay. I'm not even the first one.
So far,
I'm not even the first one in San Jose.
So. Well, because there's nobody on the map out of the brew tank, so we need to get that back on the post and see if people can add their, shows on there, their addresses or whatever. Oh, geez, you know what? I suppose I ought to send the link
to our guest. That'd probably be
a super excited guest. So great guy. I figure we ought to do like a developer type month. So developer on boards, developer on Xlights.
We could try.
Well, you always give it a try. Yeah. Oh, geez, look at my background. I'm like way out of whack.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not a bad background.
Well, no, my favorite. It's not professional. There we go. There.
Now it's very professional.
So there we go. I got since you've been working so hard, JR.
Oh, nice shirt.
I know you've been getting a lot of packages out for a lot of people, some overseas customers and everything.
Yeah.
So I figured, you know what?
Thank you.
I'll wear the Matos design shirt for you.
I'm exhausted.
My other one's in the laundry, so I bet you are. I bet you're exhausted. What time did you get out of there last night? 12:30?
I left. I got home at 12:06 from the shop.
Nice.
And apparently my UPS man this morning went, what the fuck?
I bet he did.
I'm going to have to edit that out.
You want to try that again?
And I'm just going to have to edit that out. Just bleep the bad word.
What the?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then today he has half as many packages as yesterday, but they're 3 times as heavy. So. And they have.
So he's going to think. They're what?
And he has extra paperwork because they're for Australia.
The overseas, yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's cool.
Oh. Hey, look, Scott's here.
Hey, We got somebody.
Hello, how are
We got
you?
somebody popping in.
Scott?
Is this Scott?
Yeah, how are you guys?
Good. How are you? Look at that. I'm going to say an organized disaster
Oh.
behind you. Holy cow.
Very organized.
Oh, you don't need to adjust. That's perfect. You know right where everything's at.
His green screen. It's not real.
Oh, there you go. That's it.
Yeah,
I need a green screen like that. Makes it look like I'm doing something.
yeah. I have a circuit board I've been working on, and I have no idea where I put it. And I've been looking for it for like 2 days now. I can't find it. I gave up tonight.
Well, we gave you some extra time to look for it last night since we had to cancel because it was getting too late for you. So,
Yeah, sorry.
oh no, everybody was
fault.
busy. So,
Yeah.
so Jerry, you want to take it away? You want to?
Yeah, I'm going to play the intro, and then we're going to do the intro thing. I got to find it first. We're so unprepared.
Scott, did you have a question while he's looking for it?
No, I'm just curious how the weather is there and stuff, man. It's hot here. I was sweating my butt off today. So.
Oh, it's hot.
It was a cooker. It was about 84 today, I think. I had to get off the tractor. I was hot.
I broke my weed whacker string and I have to go fix it, and like I got jammed up in the head and it's so hot out there and I can't even figure it out. I'm sweating so bad, so I gave up.
All right, here's the intro.
Hi, this is Blinky, broadcasting almost live from the Boscoyo Broadcast Studios. You're listening to the second season of the Professional Triers podcast. Oh, yeah! Remember to like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. And now here are your hosts, the Professional Triers.
Once again, the Professional Triers Holiday Lighting Show has raised the bar, teaming up with another awesome sponsor, Zazzle, to provide you, our VIP listeners, with some cool, awesome, one-of-a-kind Professional Triers gear, including the Hot or Not shot glass, the Blinky Flashy Lowdown notebook, the Professional Triers Blinky Gear beer stein, the ever-so-popular David Peace Not a Vendor t-shirt, the must-have Robert Petty Make Rob Great Again t-shirt, the one-of-a-kind Jordan Nash
Do you like my decorations?
t-shirt, and of course the must-have Professional Triers Blinky t-shirt, and much, much more. You can even create your own one-of-a-kind Professional Triers gear. So go to trierswag.com, that's TRIERSSWAG.com, and get your Professional Triers gear today.
Welcome to another episode of Professional Triers, where I always got Brian with me, who has a cool shirt on. And we have Scott,
Hey,
who
yep, look at
plays
this.
when the podcast is in mono. I'm going to make sure this one's in mono.
That's fine. Yeah, I listened to it in my truck and it
You
only
want me
comes
to
out
talk
one
from this
speaker.
side?
And it's probably the passenger.
That's when you
shirt
got to
on.
turn the balance.
That's great. I'm sorry for that.
It's fine.
Well, you know, at least we have a couple people that listen or watch, you know, so I'm happy for it. Complain away. It lets me know that you're watching.
Yeah, there's
Because
at least two
we
of
do a
us
good
that
job.
complain.
Well, they're at well, Bobby, matter of fact, he hit me up tonight. Is there going to be a podcast sometime? And I'm like, yes. Sorry. So, yeah, but he keeps us on track, which I didn't do a Blinky Flashy last week. So I'm going to see if I can't do some recording tomorrow and get a Blinky Flashy for Wednesday morning.
You know,
So,
it's Bobby's fault that there wasn't one last night. I had to pack his box because he wanted his tracking number on Friday so bad.
he was asking.
I know I always get up on Monday and I look for it out for the commute to work, and then when it's not there, I'm a little disappointed. But
I'm sorry. I got to get on.
Yeah,
We got to do
sorry.
better. Got to do better.
We try. We try.
Professional Triers.
Yes.
There you go. And last Sunday, I was wiped. I pushed a few pixels and I was just like, you know what? I am so emotionally drained from just sitting in front of a computer. Although it was an awesome show or an awesome event, the virtual Christmas summit, to me, I think it was almost perfect. We got to do a little fine tuning, but it went off. And Scott, I know you had a huge part in that as well.
Yeah, that's what, I sat in a room for like 8 hours or 12 hours or whatever it was too, and I was so wiped. I was so like Sunday when they wanted me to come back into a room, I was like, no, I just want to lay in bed.
You could sit there and stare at Xlights for hours on end, but making sure everything is getting okay. We got to get it recorded. We got to get the numbers and Keith, man, he was totally awesome because that dude can punch some numbers, but he does it for a living as well with his job. But I'll be like 10 deep and all of a sudden it'll be full because he's putting in the numbers 3 times faster than I am. So
yeah, I was just happy I was only in rooms that had like 100. I think I had 120 in one of my rooms, so I didn't have as many like the 300 like some of the people were punching in. That would have been forever.
yeah, I was so glad. I'm like, yeah, let's keep the build parties small. And JR, he was like, dude, you need to bump the room, do it. And I'm like, no, we're doing pretty good. I'm enjoying this, 50, 60. I think we had 60 some or almost 70 for Tony Bigda's fan build, but that was the most that we'd had all weekend, and I was good with that.
That was what a bummer, like me hosting a room, is I couldn't go into any other rooms, and you miss all that stuff, which is kind of a bummer about the whole deal.
Yeah, I'm
catching up on
doing it. That was awesome. I only got to see a little bit of it because I was on vacation, but I'm very excited to wait for like all the videos to come out.
Yeah, they're out. They're on YouTube Virtual Christmas Summit. They are, I believe, all of them that are going to be. We did a lot of live, and there were some that needed a little bit of editing, so they didn't get posted until this past week. But yeah, everything that's going to be on there, YouTube Virtual Christmas Summit. Pick whatever you want. Start watching. I'm catching up. I was getting ready to watch Tom Stallings Network, and I watched the Cult Board, Daniel Culp. I watched his. So I'm catching up slowly.
I think it went well. I think it
did. Well. From where I was, I think it went well. It was good.
Wheel well? That's on a car.
Wheel well.
Yeah, for how much effort, for how much like planning and time we put in it. Like it was maybe a month and a half, I think, or 2 months since the idea came to when we started. I thought it was pretty good. There was the raffle stuff we could have done better with like a website or something, I think, but with the time frame we had, that was kind of the best we could do.
Stop saying we on that, because that was the best you could do under the short circumstances. If you want a prize, this man right here is the man you need to thank, along with the vendor, of course.
No, John D is the one who did most of that work. John D did a ton of
shoot,
work.
that's right. Oh, that's right. I forgot. My bad.
Yeah.
Good job, Brian.
All right. Scratch all that. Jesus, it's been a long day. I've been out in the sun all day. Does that count?
I was kind of confused too, because like I was a little bit involved, but I was in all the chats.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, wait, John was getting all the questions. I was like, I didn't know Scott had
did.
With it.
He did.
Yeah.
So shout out to John D. Dude, you did an awesome job. You're next on here, buddy. Now we'll see if he listens. I don't want to be on there. No. Oh yeah, but yeah, just everything. It was a good, awesome turnout. Holy cow!
Yeah,
so, JR, you want to
do the regular questions?
You want to do the regular questions?
Yeah, we can do the regular questions.
Hopefully, we haven't lost everybody by now.
Yeah. All right, Scott. So I know a lot of people want to know this stuff. Could we get like a little bit about yourself? Married? You have kids? What do you do for a living?
Okay, so I am married. I have a wife. Her name's Amanda Hansen as well. We have no kids. We've been married 8 years. I live in I technically live in Wyoming, Michigan, which is actually the Grand Rapids is the big city, which probably no one knows that. But if you know your geography of Michigan, everyone thinks it's Detroit. I'm like 3 hours away from Detroit, so I'm on the west side of the state by the lake shore. So that's kind of where I live. For a living, I am technically, my official position is a test engineer at an automotive company. But what I do, the company I work for, we make auto dimming rear view mirrors for cars. And a auto dimming rear view mirror, you know, when headlights come up behind you, it just automatically darkens. So I work on the machines. I write the software and build the machines that assemble the circuit boards inside those mirrors. So in our manufacturing plant, I work on those machines and write software all day and work on basically hardware like PLC stuff and things like that. So that's my day
That's cool.
job. So,
Wow.
So, quick question on that. Are you going to come out with a rear view mirror that, yes, dims down? Of course, it's already out, but one that shoots a beam of light to that car behind you when he doesn't have his freaking brights turned down?
no, we don't have that. In my truck, I just have the lights on the bar, and you just flip the switch, right? You have the bed lights that just point right at their.
Some P-a-day lighters. Yeah, heck yeah.
No, but we do have products like our newer mirrors. They have cameras, and they like see when headlights are coming at you, and they dim your headlights automatically, things like that. And then the newer stuff is like lane keeper, they call it, where your car stays in the lane, or it gives you a warning when you're drifting. That's all stuff we'll put in cameras that we put in our mirrors now. So
Wow. That's pretty fancy.
yeah.
I'm over here like, I think Scott can make me a CNC plasma if I wanted. That'd be like nothing for him.
Yeah.
I don't have.
What do you? That's like 60 lines of code. I got that right now. Hang on.
I do envy you a little bit because I don't know how to weld or anything, but I did do like in high school, I did like CNC milling and stuff, and I learned like a lathe and mill, hand lathe and stuff. That was stuff I did.
That's cool.
I don't know how to like do welding or anything that advanced. So
yeah, but you know how to make the stuff to make the Christmas lights work. Yeah. I don't. I have hard time with Xlights. Just saying.
No comment.
Yeah.
So, how long have you had a Christmas light display?
So animated this year will be my 4th year. So, yeah, 2017 I think was my first year. I did a fully animated RGB display. I've put lights on the house, like, you know, the cheap Walmart or whatever. Since I bought the house, I've lived in this house for 8 years now. And I actually used to put them on my parents' house before this, down when I was maybe 10 years old. We used to put icicle lights on my parents' house. But yeah, I've done just the animated for 4 years now. So,
what inspired you to get into the animated lights?
So, I think I remember the Wizards in Winter
Yeah,
video. I don't know if that's the Bud Light one or what it is, or Miller Lite, but yeah, I remember that. And I like the Matt Johnson. I really like EDM music. Like I used to listen to Girl Talk. He's kind of like a remix EDM guy in college. So I've always liked electro dance music type stuff. So the Matt Johnson one I thought was cool. And since I have my degree is in electrical engineering technologies, I've always known when you had like Christmas lights, you know how there's multiple like strands on them, and you can always pull a light out and like take it apart. I've always thought it would be cool that you could like put a triac or something in there and, you know, have flashy lights. So when I first started getting my house, I was thinking about that, how I could, you know, manipulate my lights to turn on and off in sections. And that's when I started like Googling and found like the Renard stuff and was kind of looking into all this Christmas light stuff. So
I'm writing down triac. I don't know.
Yeah, so you were going to take Home Depot lights and cut them and make them blink in the middle of the strand.
Yeah, so most Home Depot lights are divided into 2 or 3 sections. So my first thought was you could put a triac or something in each section and have it flash on and off kind of deal. And so if you had, you know, 10 sets of lights with 2 sections, you would basically have 20 channels across your house. That was always my thought. I never did that. And when I first started putting them on my house, you know, the LED lights, if you walk by them or drive by them, you could see the flicker. And that's because it's a half-wave bridge rectifier in most of those. So when you have your 60 cycle AC, that's the flicker you see. And I always thought I could mod the lights to put a full bridge rectifier, and you could do some better filtering to get rid of that stuff. But then I abandoned that, just went all pixels once I started, looking into pixel LED controllers and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot simpler.
Uh-huh.
I really got to get that shirt that says Brian doesn't know
Yeah.
that JR that you did, because that would be like right on my face, because I have no clue. Holy smokes.
Like coming out of your outlet is 60 hertz. That's the AC waveform of common current. So when you
Right.
put that through an LED, a normal Home Depot, it clips and only uses the top part of the waveform. So basically, you have only the up of the waveform, so you have gaps. So that's why you get that little bit of flicker when you look at them. But a better power regulation circuit will be what they call a full bridge rectifier. Will take the negative part of the waveform and flip it up. So then you get a more smoother waveform, so you get less flicker. And that's a better way of doing power supplies, but it's more expensive. So it's kind of a trade-off. When you're doing cheap LED lights, they don't do that kind of stuff. So
I hope somebody out there is going like, yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about. Yeah, you just level it off and it smooths out the light. So tell us, and this is going to be like super easy for you, but tell us something that nobody knows about yourself.
I was actually thinking about this a little bit, but I was going to go with, before I became an engineer when I was in college still, I was actually a intern on a nationally syndicated radio show. I don't know if anyone has actually ever listened to it, called the Free Beer and Hot Wings. So I was actually an intern on there for a year. I don't know if anyone really knows that in the lighting community.
No
That's
kidding.
pretty cool. So not
That
only
is very cool.
not only do you complain about our mono, but you probably judge our radio etiquette like 100%.
Yeah, I did that. So in high school, I used to work in the theater, and I was the audio editing. I got our scholarship in high school for audio editing I did audio in the theater for 4 years, and I was like the lead sound design. So I did a lot of audio editing when I was younger. So, and then that's why I did the internship at the radio station, but then I started getting into electronics after that. So
Very cool.
I've used Adobe Audition. I know some of that stuff. So
Wow.
Holy cow.
All right, Scott has officially taken the title, the smartest person we've ever had on the show.
I don't think so.
Oh my God.
I come from
Wow.
a small town. I did the technical theater, and I worked in the machine shop. That was the things that you could do.
Very cool.
Wow.
So how does your family take your lighting hobby?
My wife, she enjoys it. Like, she doesn't help or anything besides criticism, and she'll go onto the Facebook
Constructive.
page and promote it and stuff, and she'll live stream sometimes out front. But besides that, like my brothers who live out of state, when they come, they'll bring their kids and they'll show it to them. And I have some guys at work that'll come by and they'll text me, because I have a couple of songs that I don't really play all the time that some people know about. So they'll text me to have me turn it on, like the Star Wars sequence I did a couple of years ago. I don't really like to. It's kind of scary, so I don't really play that all the time. I don't want to scare people, so sometimes people that I know that I have it will come by and request that I play it for them. So
It'll be the request. Be like, here, I'm here. Can you play the good stuff?
yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, the worst thing is a guy from work came by once, and I was up at my parents' for Christmas on the Saturday before. It was like Christmas Eve type party we were having. He came by at 7. He's like, "Why are your lights off?" And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, all your lights are dead right now." And it was the Saturday before Christmas at like 7. I'm like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me." So I got on my phone. I tried to VPN in. My VPN didn't work. And I was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. And
Wow.
so I was at dinner with my parents, and I was like flipping out. My parents were like, "You can go home if you want to." And I'm like, "Nah, it's just a Christmas light show. It's not a huge deal." So I got
Your
home
stomach is just sitting there knotting up.
yeah. So I got home at like 10 o'clock, and my FPPD had stopped. And I was just sitting there, and I was like, "Oh, the FPP had
man.
crashed on me," and it just whole night it was just sitting there off. And I'm like, "Man, that was really sucky."
Wow.
I had that exact same thing happen on Black Friday. like the second night my display's open, and my mom took my kids and us on a Christmas train. And then I was getting texts from my friends, hey, your light's not on. Like the light show part, like your light show's not on. It's like, oh shit. So I was trying to do it on my phone. I couldn't do it. And then I told them how to get into the garage and go to the computer. And then we FaceTimed an X scheduler so they could try to figure out how to restart it.
Well, that's what the one guy who called me, he works at my work and he does electronic stuff. Like I'm 90% confident he could have came into my house, got on my computer and gotten to it, but he was with his kids and he didn't want to do it. So I know the next day I was going to a Lions game. It was a Sunday. And that night I stayed up all night to make sure I had VPN working on my phone. And right at 5 o'clock during the Lions game, I was on my phone VPN'd into my FPP to make sure that thing started in the middle of a Lions game.
You're not missing anything in a Lions game, are you?
Yeah, and they were playing
I'm sorry, I had to. Scott, I love you. I'm sorry.
They were playing Minnesota. I think they were down like 21-0 at that point. Yeah, it was not good.
Oh, shoot.
I know. I'm a brown paper bag fan. You know, you can't really show that you're a fan of them. It's bad.
Now you just told the 12 people that listen. Bobby's going to give you so much crap.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Now I'm going to get Lions stuff on my phone all of a sudden. I did that. I talked to Bobby about Buffalo, and then all of a sudden I started getting all these Buffalo updates. And I'm like, why are you listening to me? So...
All right. Now we're going to get to the part of the show that Scott's probably going to really excel at, because he's going to tell us everything that he has in his show, and me and Brian aren't going to know what it is. So I'm going to play the intro to Flashpoint, and Scott's going to go.
Hi, this is Blinky, and now it's time for our favorite segment, Flashpoint. As fast as you can, tell us all about the details of your display.
The Pixel Pro Display Sequence Club is the only club that pays for itself. Here are just some of the benefits of becoming a member. Each month, you will receive a free, original sequence programmed by the pros at PPD to take your display to the next level. Access to weekly Xlights effects presets, which you can use in your own sequences or modify to create your own unique effects library. Access to the PPD affiliate discount program, getting up to 15% off or more from over a dozen of our PPD partners. So visit us on the web today at pixelprodisplays.com and also find us on Facebook at Pixel Pro University. Pixel Pro Displays. What can Pixel Pro Displays do for you?
So I have 4 controllers, and they're my PB16 controllers. So I run 4 of those. I have 2 octo scrollers that I use for Tune 2s, and then I have a color light card for my big P5 panel. So those are my controllers. Pixels, I have like about 5,000 of them. Probably 4,000 of them are 12 volt, and about 1,000 are 5 volt. All my matrices are 5 volts. So pigtails, I have mostly what some people refer to as the Amazon or eBay pigtails. Those are the kind I have. It's kind of a bad choice, but I'm slowly now going to X-Connect, so that's what I have as well. I use Xlights, and then I run FPP Master Remote my whole show. So
I knew what he was talking about. I was surprised. I knew what controllers he used because he makes his own.
His own.
Yeah, I do.
There's only one other person I know capable. Like I know there's other people that can make their own controllers, but only one person I talk to regularly besides Scott is David Peace. That's it. And David also. David probably totally understands this whole conversation so far. I'm just saying.
We'd have to bring him in like a translator for us.
Yeah, I know when the one time, and I think in the think tank, he was testing his board out, and he was like doing testing on it to make sure they don't like catch fire, and it was all sparky. And that's what. So my real job is I work on testing circuit boards. So when he's like hand testing circuit boards, that's what I do for my day job. And I'm like, that's real sketchy compared to how we do it in the real world, but whatever works. So.
He did put on this last time. He did put on sunglasses, safety glasses. So
you mean you don't take a screwdriver and try to just connect as much as you can with it?
No, we have machines that do that in a mechanical fashion.
Oh God,
Oh wow.
this is great. All right, so now we're gonna get into stuff about your display.
Meat and potatoes.
You know, the good stuff, and then we have a whole nother set of questions
Okay.
for developers.
Custom questions.
How'd we get those questions? Those are awesome.
Yeah, because somebody knew what they were talking about when they made these questions.
I think we were set up.
I know.
Thank you, Scott.
No problem.
I'm like, hey, if you have any input on developer type questions, you can just fine tune that bottom.
Yeah. What would you say is your most popular prop in your display?
I'd have to say it's my mega tree. That's the most comments I get as people talk about it. I don't really call it a mega tree because it's only a 15 by 60. It's not huge like other people's, but I get a lot of comments about the mega tree. So
How tall is it?
I just have a 10-foot piece of EMT, so it's 9.5 feet with a star on the top of it. Yeah. So I do 2-inch spaced. I got the strips from Bosco.io. So it's actually 18 by 50. I wanted to use 10 ports on my controller, so I used, I got 9 up and down, so it's actually 18 by 50. So.
Oh, okay.
But,
so do you or have you ever had neighbor issues with your display? And if so, how did you handle it?
So I think the neighbors across the street hate me, but they don't talk to me. So they don't really talk to anyone. So, but the first year they didn't have curtains on their window. And then about halfway through the year, they got blackout curtains that are closed all the time now. So I don't see them anymore. And so, like when I go and get the mail and he's at the mailbox, he walks up the driveway really fast. So I think he doesn't like me, but I have never really talked to him. So I don't know, but I get the vibe he doesn't really like me. But the neighbors on either side of me, they love it. Next door, they have 2 young boys that are probably 3 and 4 years old. They'll go out there. When I do Halloween, they'll be dancing around. And my neighbor on the other side, he said I could put lights in his yard if I would like to. He has no problem with the show. He thinks it's fun. So
Wow.
That's cool.
Very cool.
So your neighbors across the street are like the neighbors in Christmas Vacation.
yeah, they I don't know. I don't think they like me, but I haven't talked to them, so I don't know.
That's when
I
you
could just think of the curtain thing. Remember in Christmas Vacation with the curtains? Then the light still came through them, and she was.
Yeah, we have a neighborhood Facebook group, like because I'm kind of in a development. We don't have an HOA or anything, but I'm in there's a lot of people who comment every year on our Facebook. They put pictures about it and they thank me on the Facebook group. So there's a lot of people who seem to like it in the neighborhood, but yeah, the ones across the street, I don't know if they do. So
They could just be weird. Maybe they like them.
yeah, my neighbor next to me, who's lived here like 35 years, he said he's never talked to that guy in the time he's lived there. So he doesn't really know. He's kind of to himself a little bit too. So
That's
be overly friendly to him. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Well, that's what I
Getting
like.
your mail?
I like snowblow his driveway and stuff because sometimes he'll work late and his wife will be out there shoveling, trying to get his car out. So I'll go over and snowblow for him and try to be nice. But yeah, he still doesn't really talk to me or anything.
You snowblow his driveway, but he doesn't say a word to you.
No.
Wow.
You are a good person, man. Very good person.
Well, I have the snow blower, so I always try to help out, people around me. If we get like a foot of snow, you don't want to see the old ladies out there breaking their backs. So I try to just help out where I can a little bit.
So
yeah, definitely.
But is this snowblower modified in any way?
No, it's just a standard Toro.
I didn't know if you updated the board and it's like a CNC snowblower.
No,
he's on his recliner with his cell phone and a camera and just kind of driving it up and down the driveway with his finger.
I'm electronics. I don't really do like automotive mechanical. Like I've worked on tractors because my grandpa owns a farm and stuff, but I'm not really crazy into the old working on stuff. But I'm a little bit like Brian. My dad has a Kubota and we have some old tractors, but I don't do a ton of work on them, but
yeah.
I think everybody in Christmas has a Kubota.
Except for Vinny. Vinny's got that green thing.
Does he really have a green one?
Yeah.
Huh.
And now his lawnmower is a Kubota. So he does count that. but his main tractor, it's got a really ugly shade of green on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I could-
My grandpa has a Ford 8N from the 1940s, and then he had my parents and grandparents also have all John Deeres. So
they like that shade of green too, I guess.
yeah, it costs a little extra, but it's worth it, I guess.
We got two 40s Caterpillars for the orchard,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but no green. We've never had green. We used to have Gibsons. Anybody knows what that is?
I don't.
They're super old. They didn't even have like a body on them. They had two arms to steer it, but it had wheel. It was a wheel tractor with arms.
Oh, track. Yeah.
All right. This is not tractor talk.
All right. Okay.
So tell us about the evolution of your display.
So I've been doing it for 4 years. My first year was just, I think I had 4 mini trees, 4 arches, and just like a house outline. It was rather small. At that point, I used one sand device controller because I'm kind of the DIY type, so I soldered my own controller. So that was my first year. Then the second year is when I kind of went crazy. That's when I built the mega tree. I did the P10s. I did 10 arches that year. I was up to, I think, 8 mini trees. And then I was probably up to, I think I had 3 snowflakes, a star. So that was kind of like my second year is when I started adding a lot of stuff. And then my third year, now I have matrices over my windows. And then I'm up to like 20 snowflakes I put out last year. And then for this year, I have the dark helmet from Gilbert I'm going to put out. And then I've upgraded to P5 panels. But besides that, those are the only big things I'm doing this year.
So now that you have the dark helmet, is that song going to be in the rotation?
I'm thinking it might just be a closing song. I've been trying to get an R2D2, but there doesn't seem to be any Coro vendors that want to make me one. So
Nobody wants to make you an R2D2?
Yeah, I've asked both of them, and they keep saying, "Yeah, someday we'll put it on in a month or so we'll get it for you." Well, it's been like 6 months, so. But I'd like to have the R2D2 and the dark helmet, but no, I don't have that yet. So I do like that Baby Yoda that I think it's ELF.
Oh yeah,
He's selling. I've thought about getting that one.
I bet you maybe he'll make you your R2D2.
I haven't contacted him. I should maybe ask him.
Yeah, that's where I would go. If you're not getting any, thing from the others, then
I know
give it a
everyone's
shot.
busy, so I don't want to, be too demanding. So
Sometimes you got to be though if you want something. So
Yeah.
So if you were gonna, what's that?
I said, and he's Scott.
Yeah,
Deserves an R2D2. Somebody make him an R2D2.
definitely. So if you could start your display totally over, clean slate, ground zero, what would you do different?
I would first go with X-Connect because I have made probably 100 extension cables by hand, and I am so sick of doing that using the eBay pigtails. I would probably get a Falcon right away. The sand device controller, it was good my first year, but then my second year, I had to have 4 of them because I had so much stuff. And at that point, I should have just got a Falcon. Like, getting so many sand devices was kind of dumb. And then after that, I was just so frustrated with the sand devices. That's when I built my own controller. So I would definitely go with the Falcon and get X-Connect. And I would like to build a bigger Mega Tree. That's kind of my biggest regret. I wish I had a bigger Mega Tree. So.
I know a guy that can do a big pole for you.
I know. I was hoping I'd
not
win.
a commercial, Brian. Calm down.
I wasn't meaning you.
I was really hoping to get that Mega Tree kit at the summit, but I didn't get it.
Oh.
So, if you would have got a Falcon first off, do you think you would have made your own board?
I don't know. I probably would have. Since I do a lot of electronics, I really like having it Linux based and all the FPP type stuff. So since my mentality, I really like open source, open software type products where if I want to add something, I can go add it. And that's why I kind of did my own control. I wanted something that if I want to add a feature, I can go add a feature. So, and that's how I still feel about it. And that's why my controller, actually, all my designs are public. So if someone wants to go build one, they can go build one and, mod it if they would like to. Because I'm kind of all for the open source, open kind of hardware type stuff. So it's kind of my mentality. So I probably still would have done it. I really enjoy doing that kind of stuff. So
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
I wish I had any kind of like knowing how to make my own board. Like even if like you got it on the internet, like I could download it or whatever, and I could be like, I still would not know how to do it.
yeah,
You know how big my solder piles would be?
well, my other hobby is doing home automation. So I started just by making some small boards for like home automation stuff, and I was playing with doing like I did like a little 8-port controller. I was trying for a little bit. But then, I just went with the bigger Beagle Bone style because of the power. It's actually using a Pocket Beagle, but I really like that. The amount of pixels you can do with it and the power behind that little Pocket Beagle is rather nice. So,
very cool.
Shoot, do you watch a lot of Dr. Z's YouTube videos?
I do. I was actually on his podcast once, or I was on his live stream once talking about Xlights last year.
You're that Scott. Okay, because we had talked about that, and he said he had Scott, and I didn't catch the last name.
Yeah.
I was redoing something. I had it on the TV. I was kind of paying attention, kind of not. And
You didn't realize it was Scott?
I did not realize it was Scott freaking Hansen.
I am sorry for my co-host Scott.
That's fine. I don't know why you think I'm so famous. I just was.
I have failed.
Yeah.
I'm a little jealous that he was on Dr. Z's first.
Yeah.
It's not like we got millions of YouTube followers or anything like that, but still, jeez.
I was just watching his live stream and he was talking about Xlights trying to do submodeling, and I said, hey, I know how to do submodeling. I wrote the dialogue, so I know a little bit about it, but
Did you say that to him?
I don't think
I wrote it now.
I don't think I didn't write the whole dialogue. I was part of the rewrite, but yeah, I do know a little bit about it.
I've dabbled.
So, if you could travel anywhere to 3 displays, what 3 displays would you go to?
I'd really like to go see Clyde's. I really like, Clyde and I talk a lot. I'm kind of good friends with him. I'd like to go see his. I've never been out there. I'd like to go see a drive-through, so I don't know, like Light Up Arizona, or maybe go out and see your Orchard drive-through. That always sounds cool.
It's not technically a drive-through.
Or walk-through.
Yeah.
It's out in California, so I'm sure it's like 70 during the day there or something nice. Not like 10 degrees like it is here.
No,
it gets so cold at night, though. Oh, my God.
Yeah, Brian apparently needs a jacket in California at night.
I needed a jacket.
That's what I was out there in January once for training, and it was like 75 degrees, and we wanted to go swimming in the pool at the hotel, and the hotel people looked at us like we were crazy. Like, it's too cold to go swimming. I'm like, yeah. So third one, I'd probably like to go see like I don't know if he does one, but like Tom Bet George's, his always looks cool. But,
oh yeah, he does do one. It's very cool. I wonder if he's doing it this year now that he's going to have a kid.
The hands are going to be pretty full. So what tips would you have for somebody new coming into the hobby?
My biggest tip would be, if you're like really new, try to find one person or find like one mentor. I know like I hang out in the Zoom room, not as much as I used to, but sometimes you go in there and you go in there on a different day, you'll get a different person, you'll get a different opinion. So I always think it's good when you start getting off, just find one person and kind of go with their advice. And well, make sure that person, kind of knows what they're talking about. But, try to, when you start asking on Facebook every time, you'll get different answers every day, and it'll get you more in a rabbit hole of confusion than I think. So I always think it's good to start out with one person and start out small. Like, I'm really a fan of the Falcons. Like, I think that's a good starter board to get a Falcon F-16. I think that's good to get that, get a couple, maybe 1,000 lights, and just start small, not too crazy, and then build from there. That's always kind of my thing. Go with X-Connect. Don't try to make your own cables. That's a nightmare. I'm not going to do that anymore.
What do you think will be the next must-have prop, except for the R2D2?
I really like the animatronic style props, like what Keith did with the singing faces there, the dancing singing faces. I think that's cool. I think things that move bring a lot of dimensions to your show. Like I've seen videos of like moving heads and that makes a lot of effect. So I really like the moving prop type things. So
An RTD2 with a moving, rotating head.
yeah, that's if I could make one where the whole dome was like a matrix and you could make it look like it was spinning. That would be cool. But
Or you could just make a dome and make it
Or
spin.
could-
yeah,
Like that guy who posted in Xlights where he took that bowl and drilled all the holes in it. So if you had the Coro like lower body of R2D2 and then the bowl on the top, and the bowl on the top would spin, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. I've always had a dream to make like a real R2D2. Like people make them out of styrene or aluminum and stuff, and that's what people do. Is there's some bowls you can use, and then they put like a lazy Susan on them to make them spin. It's a real common practice, but.
I was just talking to somebody who we talked to before on the podcast that made that. For some reason, I can't think of his name.
Well, JR is thinking about that.
Oh,
what
Paul
is
Hayden.
Oh, okay.
Paul
There you go.
Hayden. He made an R2D2.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah. I should tell him that Scott Hansen needs an R2D2.
Well, I've thought about that. You can like 3D print. There's 3D printable designs of them now, and I've thought about that. But I hear it takes like 3 months to print them. Like it's a lot of parts to print. So it seems a little daunting. But
Yeah, you might get a Coro guy to cut it by then.
Yeah.
So, what is one of the most awkward interactions you've had with a guest out viewing your show?
I haven't had many because I normally don't go out there because it's really cold and it does seem to scare them. But the most common stuff is I go out there and I talk to someone. They're like, "Oh, where'd you get this? Home Depot?" And I'm like, "Yep, got it all from Home Depot." Like that's normally the generic. Like, yeah, it's like, "Oh, I bet you got this from Lowe's." You're like, "No, it's a little bit harder than that." But yeah, so besides that, I really haven't had much interaction with people that's been weird. So.
Yeah.
The Home Depot question's always great. Yep.
A couple layers of insulated bibs and muck boots with wool socks on, and
yeah,
go
that's
out
what if
there
it's
looking
really
homeless.
cold. If it's really cold, I put like my Dickie overalls on, and then I have my jacket over it. And yeah, I do feel like what you say, like the homeless or homeowner out there. So that's why I don't try to go out too much.
I don't think you let your beard go like I do sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not as crazy as you. Once I start tasting my mustache, I have to shave it a little bit. So
You bite it with the sandwich. Son of a bitch.
That's what Brian tries to do.
It's a.
well, I'm balding
It's
so
rough.
bad. If my beard's too long, it just doesn't look good. So
You have the Vinny look. It's okay.
Yeah, I got it at like age 18, so it's only downhill from there. So
Oh, there you go.
Oh, at 18?
yeah, I started balding like right when I was graduating college or high school. Yeah,
Wow.
some real bad genes in this family. So
I don't know. I feel bad.
Oh, did you want to finish up with this block of questions?
No, you can. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So how is your show unique? And you've kind of already mentioned your most popular prop being the Mega Tree, but do you have some favorite props of your own?
yeah, I have this weird affection for. I have a wireframe Darth Vader that was originally LEDs, and then 2 years ago I went through and put pixels in them. It still doesn't look great, but I then took his sword apart and put LEDs in his sword or in his lightsaber, and then put a clear tube on that as well. So I have this Darth Vader little prop that stands with a lightsaber that I have a weird affection for that I keep putting out there and lighting up. And that's what, if you look at my Darth Vader, he like blinks that's the I've had him since I started having the house, so I still have him out there, that little wireframe. So that's my
Oh,
favorite prop.
wow.
So
Holy cow.
if I get an R2D2, that might be my favorite because he's my favorite character. But until that guy comes,
I'm gonna personally message the 2 Koro cutters I have in my phone and tell them that Scott Hansen needs his R2D2.
that's not a huge deal. It's just something I'd like to have.
Disappointing.
I know I've thought about finding a local person and trying to do it because I'm sure I know some people that probably have a CNC, but I don't know how much that would cost. I think it'd be easier if one of the Koro experts just did it for me. But
Yeah, Koro experts.
Experts.
All right, now we're gonna go into a whole new set of questions that we've never asked anybody because we've never
seen him before.
yeah, well, we've never
I
seen
mean-
them before, and we've never had anybody to ask them before.
I'm going to review real quick.
You're gonna
Yeah,
look over them.
you don't
I'm
have
going
to
to review
use.
real quick.
You didn't put them in your notebook yet, Brian? Come on.
We'll wing it. Well, no, I got the questions ready.
So I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Scott, with his Xlights shirt on, is a developer for Xlights. So we have some specific questions for developers. So, what got you started developing for Xlights?
So what I kind of talked about is my day job. I do C++ developing. I do software development for that, and that's what Xlights is developed in as well. So when I first started using Xlights, the first 2 times I opened it, I actually got to crash the first time I opened it or second time. So then that kind of took me off to trying to figure out why it crashed. So that was my first commit, was actually to fix a crash I found. But the real reason I started looking at the code was my first year I wired a snowflake, and it was a custom model, and I didn't really realize then that it mattered where you started, like what arm. So I wired on like the second arm. So then when I went in Xlights and tried to rotate it, when you try to rotate a model in Xlights, it doesn't work right. And so I was like, well, that's funky. So I actually, one of the early features I added was a way to renumber your snowflake to shift all the nodes. And it was just a fix because I wired a snowflake wrong my first year. So that was kind of how I got started working on it. So I just did little things like that to try to fix. I mostly
Easier
develop
for
it
yourself?
for stuff for me basically sometimes. So yeah.
Whenever you find a need.
Yeah, I'm
I
a little
thought it was
selfish.
so cool. And I think it was you. We were on a Zoom call, and somebody was having an issue, I think, with .24. And it was that the visualizer, when you couldn't open the visualizer.
Mhm.
And you were like, oh, yeah, send me your RGB effects and network, whatever, blah, blah. And then you like sent it back. Okay, it's fixed. Before anybody else had the fix for it. You're like, it's done. Here you go.
Yeah,
So,
well, I have this weird competition in my mind sometimes because I'm like, if Keith knows about it, he's going to fix it. So I got to know about it first so I can fix it before Keith can fix it. So I have this weird competition sometimes. I'm like, I got to beat Keith to the bug, even though he probably doesn't even know about it. But
well, I got you on speed dial now. So I'll be like, hey, you remember when we did the podcast?
Brian broke it.
So I broke it again. So how long have you been contributing them? When did you actually start working on Xlights then?
so I started about this first year I did my show. So I think it's been 3 years now, 3.5 years. My first thing I added was September, I think 3 years ago. So I did let's see, I went to Christmas Expo the last 2 years. So the year before that, so maybe 4 years now, I've been working on it. So yeah,
Oh.
I guess I contribute to the project, but like I'm not a primary developer. So some like Sean sometimes referred to me as a junior developer because like Keith, Dan, Gill, they've committed a lot more code than I have. But yeah, I've been working. I do little things here and there, just try to help if I can. So
Awesome.
Very cool. I didn't. So is like the junior developer thing? Is that like a code like term?
no, that was just a joke when The first year I went to Expo, I think it was Ed Smith did those awards.
Oh, and they put you at the kids' table?
No, so Keith had all the developers go up there, and they didn't call me, and
Oh,
he forgot about me. And then Sean's like, "Well, he's a junior developer or something." And so just as a joke, I could, whenever when I talk to me, I'm like, "No, I'm just a junior developer." And Sean's apologized since then. Like I talked to him since then. He's like, "No, it's just because he didn't know who I was at the time because I was rather new at that point." But that was always the joke. Like some of my early PowerPoints, I used to put junior developer just because.
see the notes in GitHub of
The junior
the crash is
developer
fixed by the junior developer.
Yeah,
I got this.
that was just a joke I was doing, just to whatever.
Oh shoot, that's funny though, and you
So,
gotta have fun with it though. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
what features has the junior developer added to the Xlights?
The main thing I've worked on, I do a lot of little things here and there that you probably just like make buttons work better or add stuff like the submodel dialogue. I'm really into submodeling, so I've actually done some work there. If you've ever done a submodel, if you double click or hit that draw button, it comes up with the other dialogue where you can click and drag nodes. I don't know if anyone knows about that, but I wrote that whole dialogue because that was something I wanted to do. There's some features in that submodel dialog where you can import and copy submodels from other models. That I added all that stuff because that was something I was doing. I was submodeling a tree and I wanted to import to another tree, so I kind of added some of those features. And then I backported that to like the singing faces and the states as well. So I've put it in a couple different places. And I was hoping when we were doing the controller rewrite this year, I did the auto sizing for like the E131. I was working on that feature. So when you do the E131 and you drag stuff in the visualizer, it automatically adds universes. I wrote all that just because I wanted a way to have it auto size. So those are some minor things I've done.
Wow.
Very cool.
That minor thing. Yeah.
Yeah, just
nothing.
little things.
Yeah, I worked on the controller upload for the Hinks picks and the Alpha picks. I did that last year too. That was something they weren't ever in Xlights, and I kind of felt bad that we had users out there that had those controllers in no real way. So I actually bought a Hinks Pix controller with my money, and I wrote that. And then someone mailed me a Hinks Pix controller, and I wrote that integration. So.
Wow. So we already know why you work on Xlights, just to fix your own. But where do you see Xlights going in, say, like 5 years?
My hope is to get it easier to use and less. Like I really think the controller stuff that we added this year is a huge improvement. It makes it a lot simpler. But I really hope in 5 years the level of entry or whatever you want to call it is a lot easier for a new user where you can set up a controller, have it plugged in, and be up and running in 5-10 minutes. I don't think we're there yet. I know we've had some thoughts of adding some like easy modes where like when you do a mega tree, we could have like a dialogue that kind of steps you through adding a mega tree to make that a little bit easier for the people who don't understand the strings and the strings per strand type concepts. So I hope in the future we'll add some more of that kind of stuff to make it a little bit to make that cost to entry or whatever you want to call it a little bit easier for new users.
Me 5 years ago would have really appreciated that Mega Tree intro. That was the first prop I bought for Pixels. And it took me and my brother-in-law 3 days and about 40 YouTube videos to try to figure out how to get my Mega Tree to work.
Yeah.
We finally got it, and then I've learned since then, but it was like, that would be very helpful to some people.
Well, that's when you sit in the Zoom room and you see the same problems over and over. Like that's why the controller rewrite was a huge thing. Is you sit in there so many times and you get the question, "What's a universe? Why do I have to set up universes?" And you're like, "Why do they even like the users shouldn't even care about universes? So let's make that less of an important feature and make it more about the controllers." So that was the idea to try to make it easier for users.
You know what feature? I don't know if you would do this or not, but you know what feature I would love? If you could trim the music.
So you want to do it like on the fly, like an audio editor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you could just be like, okay, I put my song in and the intro sucks, and you could just pull the bar you edit the video in your iPhone and just cut it.
Yeah, It's been a request. There is in Xlights you can like give it a cut list and it will chop up your audio when you do import it. That's actually a feature, but you'd have to manually know that I want to cut 0 to 10 milliseconds or whatever. There is a way to do that with a text file, but yeah, there's not an automated way at this point. No.
Yeah, it would be kind of cool if you could just drag and then say cut audio, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Do it from both ends or whatnot. We don't need like fancy like cut a section out of a song and all this, but like if you could just trim them.
The intro or outro. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going to get you a song that you want to sequence, Scott, that has a stupid long intro, and then it'll be in there.
I do have some EDM songs that I've tried to sequence, but then my wife has said that she would never watch those songs, so they're still sitting in the can. I've never really released them because of that, but some of them do have intros like that I wish I could cut off. I could if I used like Audacity or something.
Yeah, but sometimes like some new, like I have software that I could edit the song.
Yeah.
But like, sometimes new people don't, and then they don't like the 5-minute intro to some Frozen song.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so the final question I have for this, I don't know if JR's got any more, but the final one and I know there's always a run-in either in the brew tank or whatever, but how many dots are there going to be by Thanksgiving? Is it going to be .74, .82, .65? What are we going to be up to with
I think this
adjustments?
this year's a little bit slower year, so I think we'll probably be in the 40-45 range. I know last year we were, I think at the end of the year we were at 70 last year. That was a pretty high number. We're normally average per year about 50 to 40, 40 to 50.
Yeah.
And there hasn't been a ton lately. Like we've been doing a release a week about at this point, so I think we'll probably be in that 40 range.
All right. So if anybody's listening and cares to, hit the comments below. Tell us what you think it's going to be. What dot at 2020.xx. Let us know what you think it's going to be. So
like
I am going to say,
Right.
I'm going to say .56. That's I'm going to write it down right now. 56.
So Brian, go and comment that when this is posted, and whoever gets it right, if there's multiple people with the same, on Black Friday, we'll do a drawing for a T-shirt.
Sweet.
Somebody remind Black Friday to do a drawing for the T-shirt. That's a plan, though.
So by Thanksgiving Day, what is going to be the final 2020.xx? What's going to be the final number?
Yeah.
Put your comments below. All the right answers will go into a drawing for a what?
T-shirt.
A T-shirt.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna.
But I feel like if Scott puts his number, he could just make it that number.
I don't do the releases. So,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I always hope for low numbers because I work on the manual. So the more releases, the more stuff I got to update. So low numbers.
That's what the junior programmers do. Is
The manual.
No, I'm just teasing.
That's what we're stuck doing.
Oh, my God.
Oh shoot!
So is it time for more fun?
Let's do it. Are you ready for these? You don't have any idea what these are going to be unless you listen to the show.
I listen every
And then
week,
we
so.
Oh, all right. We
Try to go out of the box on this one here.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Hi, it's Blinky again. And now it's time for our fan favorite rapid fire questions.
Scott, what color is your toothbrush?
It is orange.
Come on, Brian.
If you could, I'm typing in crazy questions because he listens all the time. So,
I don't
so
remember
if you
them
could
all,
have a
so.
superpower, what would it be and why?
I like the idea of flight. I hear that one all the time. So flight.
Okay, since you are into all of this stuff, if Windows made a car, I mean, screwed that one up.
Would it have apples?
Yeah, would it have apples? If Apple made a car, would it have windows?
I think it would have transparent piece of glasses that you could see out. Yes.
You think so? Or would it just have your mirrors that you guys make?
We do make camera systems now that you can see the rear of your car in the mirror, so it could have some of those as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it just screens with your cameras.
Yeah, that's what we do. Make auto dimming rear view mirrors that the whole display is a camera. Like you can flip it and the whole thing is a screen. So.
Wow. If peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called?
I guess nut spread. I don't know, peanut spread.
That is my most favorite response.
Oh my god. In and Out or Runza?
The one time I've been to California, I had In and Out like 4 times. It was delicious. Their fries are amazing.
Nope. He's an In and Out man.
In and Out.
I've had Shake Shack, not impressed, but In and Out was very good. So
Very nice.
If toilet paper, if toilet paper was on a roll, would you want it to come off, over, or under?
it's definitely got to go over. People who do under, they're like sick individuals. I don't know what they're doing.
You know, my wife, she's heard us in these conversations and stuff, and she won't even put the toilet paper roll on anymore because I change it anyways if it's under. So now she just sets it on top, and I could just see if there was a note on top of it, it would say,
"Thank you, Karen."
Yeah. Here, you anal.
That's what we have. 2 bathrooms, and one is our shower, our main bathroom, and then I have is what's tentatively known as my bathroom. And it has like Star Wars stuff in it, and yeah, my wife does not touch that. She just lets me deal with that stuff. So
Nice. That's so nice that your wife give you your own bathroom.
it's a half bath, but yeah, and I put some little Star Wars things in it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Very nerdy.
If you were going to clean your work area, how many days would it take to clean it?
I don't know. I've been probably working on it for like 2 weeks, and it still looks like crap. So it's gonna be a while.
And I think I see your board that you're missing. It's right over your left shoulder, second shelf.
I don't think it's there.
He's
No,
already looking
okay.
there.
All right, I pinned the video earlier. I was looking. So no, I'm just teasing.
I've been cleaning since Saturday looking for it because I was actually on Zoom on Saturday and I showed it to someone in the camera, and then I set it down. And I have not seen it since, so I have no idea where it went. I've been like cleaning the computer and I don't know what I did with it. I went over to the laundry room because I was doing laundry on Saturday. I don't see it in there. So
Do you wash it?
Oh no!
I hope. I don't think I did. I wanted to set it in the washer, but I've emptied
Oh,
the washer
man.
since then, so it's not in there. But
No extra thunking in the dryer or nothing.
no, not yet.
So if animals could talk, and I know you're a cat person, so this is definitely going to be a cat. But if animals could talk, which one do you think would be the rudest?
It's definitely a cat. Cats are jerks.
Oh, and you're a cat guy. Where is the cat tonight?
I don't know. They like if my wife falls asleep, they normally hang out with my wife and she's upstairs watching TV, but when she falls asleep they get bored and then they'll come down here and start meowing. That's why you normally hear them meow. So she hasn't fallen asleep yet, but if they get bored they'll come down and start meowing at me.
So they hang out with you when they're bored.
Yeah. They sleep on my wife, they sleep with my wife, and then if she's gone or falls asleep, then they come and see me. So they're kind of like, yeah, like 2-time, like, you know, they're only friends with me when I'm the only one.
Available for emotional and affectionate support.
I'm trying to think of rapid fire questions that Scott hasn't heard. Oh, I haven't done this one in a while. Nope, that one sucks. I forgot the rest of it. So this is not rapid fire questions. All right, if Lightning McQueen got in a car accident, would he need auto insurance or life insurance?
I think he needs auto insurance. because he's a car technically.
Technically.
I don't know. I've never seen the Cars movie, so
Yeah.
I would make it
kids,
difficult.
so you don't see them.
I do like
Yeah.
Disney though. So I have seen like my wife likes them, but I have not seen Cars. But I have seen Frozen and most of the other Disney movies.
Okay, so scratch that
All
one
right.
off.
Disneyland or Disney World?
I would really. I've never been. I've been to. When I did go to California, I went to. What's the other one? Not Disneyland. California Adventures.
Oh, you went to California Adventure and didn't go to Disney.
Yeah, I don't know why we did that. That was a family decision. But I'd really like to go to Disneyland because I've been to Disney World. I think I've been there like 10 times now. So I'd really like to go to Disneyland. I've never been there.
Okay, that's a good answer. Brian, you got another one?
If you were arrested, I do. I got one left.
Okay.
And I'm just dying for the answer on this one. So, if you were arrested with no explanation whatsoever, what would your friends and family assume that you had done wrong?
Yeah, they would probably think I did some kind of like computer hacking or something related to that. Cybercrime type computer something.
A light that shoots out of the rearview mirror to the car behind you to turn his brights down?
Yeah, I have thought about, like putting a P5 in like the back of my truck and be like, hey, jerk, turn your headlights off. And you like scroll it on a P5 panel, like hook it up to a Pi with like a push button,
Put it on a short key.
Yeah. I've always thought about that. Or like nice blinker jerk or something when they don't have their blinker on or something.
Well, I'm pretty sure now with like memes, you could just be like, nice blinker, Karen.
Oh, was that finger for me?
I've always thought you get a Pi hat or something, just mount it in your rearview window. It'd be pretty easy to do. I'm pretty sure it's illegal, but
It would be pretty cool though.
It would be cool. All right, that's all I got.
That's it. So is it time for the last question?
Run it.
I still don't have the button.
Oh, jeez. I'm going to stop saying that then.
I know. It would be cool if I had a button for it, huh? I did it one time. Scott, if you were to hang out with one of us, would it be Brian or would it be me?
This is really hard because, as I mentioned before, my grandpa has a farm, so I really have this. I'd love to go play on the Kubota with a box blade and do all that kind of stuff with Brian, but I think I'd rather hang out with JR and learn how to weld and hang out in the California sun there. So,
well, lucky for you, I have a box blade and a Kubota too. So,
oh, that's cool.
you hit everything over there. I got nothing. I knew I should have bought that welder off the for sale page I showed you.
I hear Montana though is beautiful country up there. Like I know some people who live out there and they say it's real nice. So.
It is gorgeous. It's super flat where we're at, but that's why it's called Big Sky Country because you can see it for about 270 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what my brother used to live out in Kansas, and it was flat for miles. You could see thunderstorms coming in for like 10 miles when we were out there. You could see for days, it felt like. So.
Oh yeah.
Very cool. I can't see across the street.
I can see cars coming down the interstate like 15 miles away. I know exactly where that hill is at night. See them coming down.
You can see the helicopter coming from the bad neighborhood. Well, thanks, Scott, for being on the show. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having me. This is really cool. I've always wanted to be on this. I was hoping you'd ask me someday.
Well, if we miss you or something like that, and this goes for everybody out there, if you want to be on the show, hit us up. I mean, we'll have fun with it one way or another. I mean, we have a great time no matter who we have on there. So, and thank you, Scott, for coming on. Thank you for exercising your patience with us for last night and then tonight. Can I get 30 more minutes? We're not quite ready yet.
Yeah, I had to get up at like 7, and it was like getting towards 12:31. I'm like, I could stay up. I'm getting real tired. I don't know if I'd be real good at an interview. I might be sleeping on the keyboard or something. So I thought it might be better to do it today. So
sorry about that.
We haven't had drool coming down on a guest yet. We try to keep it that way. So
I'd be like sleeping in my chair, like. I didn't want to be
Hey,
doing that.
we're ready for a question. Can you answer that one, please?
Instead of a podcast with Scott, it would be like nap time with Scott. Oh, geez.
Talking
Somebody has gone into
subtle.
old photos, and I just got tagged, and I just got comments on an old photo with David Peace. That's great.
Oh, is he doing it again?
No, somebody's doing it to him.
Oh,
All right. Well, this is great. Thank you, Scott.
Thank
It was
you.
a lot of fun.
Scott,
Really
thank you
appreciate
much,
it.
buddy.
Oh, is there anything that you would like to promote?
Not really. I just work on the Xlights manual. If you ever want to look at that, I love it when people say it's outdated and very bad. That's very kind of people to say that. So if you ever want to look at that, and if you have complaints about it, I'll try to fix it. And yeah.
And donate to Xlights?
Yeah,
Yes.
donate to Xlights.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It helps. It gives a little bit to all the people doing their time to help make Xlights better. Free software
Work on
they
the-
get, and people like Scott spend their time, instead of doing something for the display, fixing it
Yeah, and
For-
it really, a
for
lot of it
himself, but he fixes it for everybody too.
and some of that money goes to like going to Expo and stuff, and that's really helpful because if it wasn't for that, it would be, it's kind of hard to sometimes spend that kind of money to go to Expo, to promote software that you have to pay to go to it. So it's always helpful for those kind of things too. It's really appreciated on my part too. I really enjoy that people donate for that. So
Very nice. So
Awesome.
yes, donate to Xlights. I know everybody just got done donating to Xlights around the world, which 25% of that goes to Xlights, but now I think it's time to push donating to Xlights. So it's getting to that time of year where everybody uses it. So we'll also put the link to that in the comments.
I was going to say, remind me tomorrow morning. I'll put the link in
Yes.
the comments.
yeah, I have my own website. It's scottnation.com, and that's where I put all my presentations. So if I've given a couple of presentations, I have all the PDFs on there if people are interested in that too. If you've ever seen any essentials I've done, I have them all on my website as well. So
Say that link again.
it's scottnation.com.
Okay.
That sounds like a really cool domain name.
That is.
How
very
long have you had
awesome.
that?
I got that in high school. So yeah, I've had it I used to put like Call of Duty videos on it, but stupid stuff. So
Stuff you would have got paid $1 million for now.
yeah. I
Yeah.
was obsessed with Modern Warfare in like college, but now I just have information about my light show, and I put my presentations on there, and I have so I
Very
try to
cool.
document
And you
some of that
being-
stuff. So
You being the guy that you are, you were probably PC. You didn't Xbox or PlayStation.
so
You used PC, didn't you?
I did PC for a little bit, but for my 21st birthday, my wife now bought me an Xbox 360. So I did play mostly Xbox 360 in college. So I did a lot of 360. Yeah.
All right, whatever. We're done. So.
I did used to play on a PC like half.
I always get excited when. Well, see, when we had dedicated servers and all that, and I used to
didn't
play,
have a
I
PC.
still got the machine.
So
I did. I had I have it. I still have it. It's a monster. It's 7, 8 years old, and it's still a monster.
See,
But my Wi-Fi can't handle it out here, so I
Yeah,
don't have the bandwidth for it.
Your
so I don't
Wi-Fi
play
can't
anymore.
handle Oregon Trail.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, it's a little choppy, but it's okay.
I feel like
That's
that's
what-
what you used to play.
That's what when I was in high school, we only had dial-up at my house. So like trying to play Half-Life 2, I used to play Battlefield 1942. Playing that on dial-up is pretty much impossible. So it wasn't until
You're like-
college when I got broadband. So
You were like naming all of the best ones. I probably got the cases for them right down here.
Battlefield 2, I used to play that game
He's
a
gonna
lot.
pull
on
out one of
PC.
those old leather cases, go with all his games. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Heck yeah. Good times.
All right, I need to
If
go.
I ever
watch
get
my
better
kids so my
internet.
wife don't kill me. So you guys can talk. But
All right, Scott.
I'm gonna have to stop the recording.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you so much, Scott.
Thanks for
Appreciate it.
having me.
Scott.
Yep, no problem.
Later.